Okay, well, we are back with another episode.
Episode 3.
Thank you so much for joining us. If you're here with us, thank you so much. UFC 302. It's coming up real fast here. We got a few more sleeps. So if you're watching this, we got, I think, two full sleeps before the event. We're back with Ryder. We also have Jordan.
All right.
We got Jake as well.
How are you?
We got Aaron on the books.
Hello.
Thanks for cooking the numbers, Aaron.
So now, Ryder, I notice you have written on your card here UFC 202 instead of 302. So you're about 100 behind, which is pretty sweet. But
Yeah, that's really silly.
yeah,
It's really funny and silly. It's really silly and funny of me.
so yeah, that's
But,
good stuff. Yeah. So what kicks us off? I think the early prelims are only 3 fights.
Is that
this
right?
time.
Yeah.
I saw a couple were canceled. Like Roman Dolidze was supposed to fight, like Alexander Hernandez or something, and he that was canceled. So I think
Anthony Hernandez.
yeah, whatever, same. We're down a couple fights here, but
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, we got a big fight, and I believe this is in the flyweight division, right?
Yep, flyweight.
And this is the Mongolian fighter we spoke on.
Mitch.
One of them is Mongolian.
Well, my writing is really bad. So Aaron, do you know like
Are we looking in prelims
the
or
early
main card?
early prelims?
Yeah,
Early
the first
prelims.
fight of the night.
Yeah.
While he's looking that up, boys,
Mitch Raposo
Yeah, Mitch Raposo versus
Andre Lima.
he's too fast.
No, neither of those men are Mongolian. They surely canceled that fight.
I see no Mongols.
There's a canceled fight on there.
So yeah, Jake. Sorry, what were you?
No, I was just gonna say, just initial thoughts on the card, like as a whole. Give it a.
Well, I was
bit of
saying
a
earlier
rundown.
that I recognized almost one name from every fight.
Yeah.
And that's always good. If you can associate with one fighter from each fight, you got something to gain or something to lose.
Totally.
Where is this card? Is this Las Vegas? The capital of UFC.
New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey.
Interesting.
They love going to New
Okay.
Jersey.
Jersey.
Surely there's
New
some
Jersey.
there's deep pockets in New Jersey. Somewhere in the mid east there. They got some Skrilla to throw down for the UFC.
That just seems. You think like a Islam card would be somewhere else,
Or even a
Abu
Poirier
Dhabi?
card, yeah, or a Poirier
It
card.
could have been like, yeah. Well, that's interesting. I guess it was time for a card there, but
I would say that this card is. This happens sometimes. You have cards that have really good fights at the top, and we got some. I mean,
you're
you said you
out.
knew at least one fighter from every fight, but this has to. I mean, this would probably be described as a bit of a top-heavy card.
Very top heavy. I would
Top-heavy
say.
card. Still a good card.
Well,
There's
yeah,
great
we've got
fights
guys
on
like
there.
Jake Matthews, right? You guys all
I-
know Jake Matthews, but what has Jake Matthews really
yeah.
gotten up
You know,
to?
I
He's
like-
done okay for himself.
He's building up.
Yeah, but he's a name that I sort of recognize.
Yeah.
It's nothing to, unless you're a Jake Matthews fan or a Philip Rowe fan. Like, Philip Rowe's a great fighter. He's had a couple of ups and downs. Jake Matthews, Philip Rowe, that'll be a great fight. Grant Dawson, he just got slept, in that big event not long ago.
Pereira?
He was a huge favorite to win, I believe, against Bobby Green, and Bobby Green knocked his ass out in
Oh,
fucking
sure.
15 seconds.
So, but he's 22-1.
Yeah, he's a great fighter, and
that's okay.
He's fighting Joe Selecki, and I don't know who Joe Selecki is, but I've heard that name. You know what I mean?
This might be one of those cards where like might not know all the fighters, but if you tune in, you might see some great fights
Yeah,
early
100%.
on.
I
like,
agree.
Like this heavyweight fight, Jelton Almeida versus Alexander Romanov. That's
Yeah.
like a pretty high level heavyweight fight.
Yeah.
Jalton just lost to Curtis
37 wins,
Crazy.
5 losses between both fighters.
20-3, and Romanov, I think he's pretty up and coming. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that it's
It's top
I
heavy.
mean, I'll say this: the last card was the first card in a while. So Jake, you've been known to, if the card's lacking a bit, you've been known to sleep a little bit or whatever.
No.
And that's fine.
Maybe you've dozed
And-
off once
no,
or
and,
twice.
and that's fair.
I'm a sleepy guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Most of the time.
So
Right.
last card was the first one where Ryder was also dozing off a little bit too.
Really?
Because of how
Yeah, I
you guys
was.
were both dozing off in the main card, and I was sat there watching.
You were dozing?
Yeah.
Brad? Wow.
I was watching little Pantoja versus Urseg on my
yeah,
own, and I
that
was
was
like,
a sleeper.
freaking,
It's
I
pretty
might as
bad.
well just have gone home and left you guys to sleep on the couch.
You should have.
but,
You should have.
Just heads fall together.
But it
Was it
it
bad?
was understandable because it was a bad card, and I just would like to say that.
Yeah.
And I would say that this card is not that much better. I'd say the
I-
main event's better. The main event's very high end.
I love the main event.
Yep. I'd say that the
The
co-main,
overall card is
the
better.
co-mains.
It's better though.
It's two of the biggest names in the sport, Strickland and Costa,
Strickland
right
Costa.
now. That's a good fight. And then from there down, it's just kind of like Ryder said. You know one name, you know two names, but they're all just kind of like mid fights.
Hearsay. Yeah.
Yep.
Hearsay names. Where's your phone?
It's just around the
Just
bend.
around the bend.
Yeah.
I got it for you, buddy.
Yeah, what's up?
I just want you to just maybe pull up just the event because I need to know this one of these guys' previous fights. I was trying to remember it, but
I can look stuff up.
I know you can.
So what you have to
I'm
do,
quicker.
Aaron,
Yeah,
gotta
I didn't mean to
gotta
undermine you
click
there,
on the
Aaron.
fighter, and then it'll go
Yeah, just
straight
have
to
that
their
ready, have that
record.
ready. If we need it.
He's
probably way quick.
Who are you looking for?
Well, just this first fight, Mitch, I know has, I think he's only got one fight in the UFC, but then Andre Lima has like, his whole career has essentially been in the UFC.
Yeah.
You're looking for which? What are you talking about? First
First fight,
Prelim.
early prelims.
Early
down-
prelims. Okay.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom.
This guy is on the UFC website. Mitch Raposo is blacked out. He doesn't even have a photo. But we'll check
That's
it
what I'm
out.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's
here we
like
go. Here
this
he
might
is.
be his debut. I need to know who this man is because I
4
thought
wins
it was
by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 4 first-round finishes.
very dangerous.
9-1
Well-rounded.
and 0.
9-1-0,
Yeah, he's 9-1-0. He's only got one loss.
and he's one fight in the UFC.
Yeah, Andre Lima though he's 8-3 and he's crafty.
He's 8-0.
8-0?
Andre Lima, yes.
Oh,
That's
oh,
my-
8-0.
My
See, that's what
chicken
I'm talking
scratch
about.
writing.
This is what I'm talking about. Could be a crazy. could be a
8-0
crazy
versus
fight we're
9
looking
and
at
1.
it, right?
Two guys you've never heard of. It's probably going to be a sick fight.
Yeah,
So
probably.
watch out.
First fight of the night. There you go.
Anybody who's not watching the first fight of the UFC event that's the definition of a casual. Like if you're not waiting for the stream to start, then you're not that into it. Whether it's hockey or basketball or anything, if you're just like tuning in 10 minutes, 20 minutes into a hockey game, you've missed a third of your action, right?
It's the same. It's the same, and it's.
I don't
not.
know. You're going to miss an iconic moment because you don't think it's going to be a banger. It's like the UFC fans are actually some of the worst fans, no doubt. I would agree that I think most people would agree that NHL fans are diehard. It's in their spirit and it's in their fibers. And they walk around with an Edmonton soul or a Vancouver soul.
You want to talk about fans? You talk about football. in
UFC,
America,
yeah, football or in America or soccer, football in Europe.
England.
That's much deeper than fighting somehow.
Absolutely. Well,
It's weird to be
Stupid.
like a diehard fan of one specific fighter, kind of. It's like,
It's a little cucky.
it's
Yeah,
almost like, yeah.
it's
a
an
little bit
individual
cocky.
match for them all. We're watching a series of matches, right?
Yeah.
And, people do come around for the main event, and it is nice when new people come to the sport. They usually only watch main events anyways. They don't want, but eventually, if you do become a real fan, you do start watching the early prelims, and then you just watch the whole thing like we do now. We're there early. We get to your house early.
I just
and we,
can't. I just can't imagine like, oh shit, the UFC's on. It's like usually I know what time it starts.
Yeah.
Usually unless it's just a
Especially a
sleeper.
pay-per-view card.
Yeah, pay-per-view. Fight
Pay-per-view
night is
card.
maybe an exception, but
Yeah.
even still.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
So,
prospects in the first fight of the night, right?
the next fight, we almost don't even need to talk about it. I'll tell you what, it's the one fight that is different than the rest.
Aaron, where's where's Island
yeah.
from? The second fight of the night, Island?
What do you mean different?
It's just the one fight that's just.
It's gonna be a
it
bit sleepy. I'm sure it
stands
will
out.
be.
Yeah.
In what way?
The next early prelim.
Yeah, the next early prelim. What's the where is
For
Island
some reason,
from?
it's going to be a
No. Where's
What's the
Island?
reason, Jordan?
It's just different. I'm just saying it's different. I don't know why, but it's just going to be different, and it might not be as good.
It's the only women's fight on the entire card. It's the only women's fight on the whole card.
Hey.
That's
And-
what I was getting.
That's not why.
I
That's
thought
not why.
he was
Well, of
saying.
course that's
why.
not. Of course that's not why. But it's because both of these styles of both of these athletes is going to make for a mediocre, entertaining match of
Ryder.
fighting.
I can't believe you said that. Okay, what's the next fight? We have Mickey Gall, who.
No, I want to know where Island Perez is from? Is it Perez, Jordan? Perez?
Perez, I think. Yeah.
Is she Mexican?
Colombian.
Is she Brazilian, Mexican?
I thought I recognized that
Venezuelan?
flag. Hang on. What does it say?
She's Venezuelan.
Argentina.
Argentina.
Sorry.
Okay,
Wow.
that's no chin in Argentina, but they got cardio in Argentina.
What are you talking about?
Argentina.
Argentina has chins, but not a car.
No chin, cardio.
No chin cardio.
like
Like who?
Ponzinibbio.
Ponzinibbio or like Cheeto.
I don't think
Cheeto's from
Ponzinibbio
Ecuador.
had
He's up
anything.
high. He's not Mexican, but he's kind of Southern American, Central American.
Dude, he's Ecuadorian. Get it straight.
I'm not saying he's Mexican.
No.
I'm saying he's Ecuadorian, but
Yeah.
I'm saying he's Central, South American. It's not like a Mexican chin in boxing is like a notorious thing that you know of.
Ecuador is down at the bottom of South America.
That's what I'm saying. Is there's like an altitude.
Ecuador is
difference.
in the upper west of
Central
South
America.
Of South
Yeah.
America.
What, just on the coast of Brazil, like
Ecuador.
Brazil?
Ecuador, it's named that because it's right by the equator, I'm pretty sure.
Ecuador.
It's just beneath Colombia and it's just above.
That's like a Carl Pilkington thing to
like,
say. You're probably
No,
right.
sure it
I'm
is.
sure you're
Should
right.
I?
It's
No,
probably
Peru, I
equator
think.
in Spanish.
Throw me
Yeah.
that blue stick.
Yeah, but just because they're from Argentina doesn't mean they're fighting or training at altitude. There's many sea level places
very
there.
true. That's very true. I
So
think.
yeah, that's an all right fight. I the next one has Mickey Gall on it, and I think
Mickey Gall.
his best win is probably
CM Punk.
CJ Punk or whatever.
CM Punk.
CJ Punk.
CJ Punk.
Mickey Gall showed the entertainment world that no matter how sick you are, you're not going to go and beat up a semi-pro / pro fighter. I'm Mickey Gall, and I will beat the shit out of CM Punk.
Yeah,
9
of course.
times out of 10.
Yeah.
And you could run that fight back 10 more times, and I'm sure Mickey would win 8 or 9 of them.
Jake,
I
I,
mean,
I think
he's a pro
I think
fighter.
you would beat CM Punk pretty easily.
Well, you
actually.
might have at the time because you have way more training and striking and shit, right? He was a pro wrestler and he thought he was tough shit
Yeah.
because he got slapped over the back by the Undertaker like 180 times in one night, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But-
they do go through a lot of physical stuff, but it's more like
It's mental and pain.
The
and
coordination of like striking and jujitsu and wrestling, that like explosive movement you need to compete in that sport against, like, these are professionals. Mickey Gall is like, yeah, he's not top 15 or whatever, but he is probably a better MMA fighter than anyone you'd ever meet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Oh,
totally.
of course.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never
he's
met-
7-5, which is
But he's been competing in the UFC for 5 years straight. Like these aren't
Yeah.
these
still
aren't
here though, not
mediocre.
cut. Guys get cut, man.
Yeah.
Because they get on skids.
And he has
Mickey
a
Gall's
decent-
still here.
Well, he's got a decent style where he's either going to get beat up or he's going to have a gritty performance and maybe something good will come out of it.
Who'd he fight? Sage Northcutt. Remember that fight?
Maybe.
Did he fight Sage Northcutt?
Probably.
Super Sage Northcutt.
super.
He might have been on a
Super-
highlight reel end of
I
that.
thought that him and Gall fought one time, and I think
Mike
Sage
Perry.
got the better.
Mike Perry fought Mickey Gall.
Oh, jeez.
And beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
That's funny. So who's he fighting though? Basil Hafez.
I think Mike Perry.
he's fighting
Mickey
a
Gall.
spice.
Mickey Gall. Could you look up his losses in the UFC, Aaron? I think he's a third fight.
Basil Hafez, I believe, is his opponent.
Yeah,
who-
Basil versus Mickey.
I can't say I know anything about.
I know we're not talking
Basil.
about. That's at lightweight.
Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall.
7-5-0.
Did he lose to Mike Perry? I just want to confirm that.
Did he lose to Sage Northcutt?
Can't remember.
The Gall versus Perry fight.
Yeah, that was a fight. Yeah, Perry won that.
Unfortunately, it doesn't immediately say. Decision unanimous.
Oh wow.
But it's
Did it
not
see
saying
gritty?
who won.
Did he
Is it
fight-
the person whose name is first? Or
Yeah, that's right. Mike Perry. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Mike Perry is the current bare knuckle champion in
BKFC.
In BKFC, he's knocked out like a bunch of crazy fucks.
Yeah, he knocked out like 48-year-old Thiago Alves.
Yeah, he was old in one punch.
Yeah, you have to admit, the most of the people he's fought so far are just kind of
C-tier
people at
guys,
the
C-tier
end
guys.
of their career.
Who else did he fight? He fought Luke Rockhold coming off the Paulo Costa loss. Nothing wrong with that. Are you telling me that he's as tough as Paulo Costa? I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like Mike Perry being as tough as Paulo Costa. Or hitting as harder. He fucking knocked Luke's teeth out
Yeah, he did.
with his
I don't know.
Bare knuckle,
Dude,
though.
Paulo Costa would kill Mike Perry.
I would say so. I would think so. But let's get him out of the UFC and put him in BKFC.
I don't think he does as well.
I think that Mike
Yeah.
Perry would swallow him up.
Different
Mike Perry's
sport.
an animal.
It's a different sport.
Let me say this. with the Conor McGregor investment into BKFC,
Connor?
he had Conor Fever.
I got Connor fever.
Pretty much put 100 million into BKFC, which made its equity go up like whatever, 12%.
Yeah.
Right, a good chunk. And he's the best face in MMA. Is Conor McGregor, hands down. Nobody likes anybody.
The best face?
The best selling
By-
face, hands down.
by
No
miles.
argument.
Jordan in every aspect.
Biggest face.
Best,
Biggest.
Biggest.
Face. He kind of
Best-
looks,
no, no, no.
Best face
Best
would probably
fighter,
be like
biggest-
Luke Rockhold or something like
For
that.
sure. Paulo
Best
Costa.
fighter.
Paulo Costa. Sexiest man in the UFC right now.
Yeah, he's.
Paulo Costa. I know you got a live,
So
great live presence
I
online
saw a video
right now.
of Connor.
I think
He's
he
like
looked great.
in camp right now, and I saw Connor. He was like freaking
Yeah.
partying at his
With his girl.
Black Forge Inn with his girl, and she was like licking him up and down and stuff. And he's all coked up. And it's
He
like
looked
he's
pretty
like
crazy.
5 weeks out from fighting
We
like
don't know
Michael
what he looked like,
Chandler, who is like has like 2 black kids, and that's what he's more concerned about than like partying up at freaking.
Yeah, Michael's like a true
know.
American guy. Michael's just at home with his
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, exactly.
Lifting weights and shooting guns and teaching his children proper ethics.
yeah.
And if you don't like that, that's fair, because that's pretty lame. That's pretty fucking gay.
And he's
Or
gonna
whatever.
He's gonna
like-
get. He's gonna get knocked out by Conor McGregor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I also think the Chandler morals thing, it's like, that's what your grandpa respects. And I respect my grandpa. So it's like, there's a bit of a coin toss there on the personalities that I am drawn to. It's like, I like the McGregor, badass, showboat, best striker, whatever. Chandler, what is he really going to do to McGregor? I don't know. But
Wrestling.
I don't associate with Chandler for whatever reason. I just don't like him.
I actually do like Connor. in
I like
that
Connor
fight,
more in this
kinda.
situation.
Let's go, Connor.
Yeah.
He invests in the BKFC, and then BKFC gets a huge bump in the pay. Like,
Well,
now
just
Mike
say-
Perry's making $5 million a fucking
If
fight.
Connor wins this fight, the sport is skyrocketing again.
Hopefully.
Connor Mania is back.
Hopefully. Yeah.
The whole buzz around MMA just goes up. People start asking you, "Ooh, is that Connor guy?
No,
Is
for
he-
sure.
Is he the champion again?"
Yeah.
People who don't even know MMA, they ask about him. So if he wins,
100%.
that's great. Will he win? Good question. I can't wait to see it. But we'll talk about this card first. 302.
Yeah. I was talking
We're
about
on
BKFC.
Mickey Gall.
Future card.
Yeah.
Yeah,
BKFC,
future card. We're
Mike
on
Perry
Mickey
rant.
Gall. We're on Mickey Gall.
Mickey Gall versus Basil Hafez.
Again, I think Mickey Gall could do like one of those classic veteran moves on this decent up and comer Basil Hafez. I think Basil has a strong knockout.
How old's Basil? Do we have an age on Basil?
Pull that up.
it's either Basil or Basil.
Pull that up, Aaron.
I think it's maybe it was 2 S's,
See, where's the age?
which is an interesting spelling of that name.
Yeah.
I knew a Basil, and they went by Basil.
Basil.
Yeah.
Huh. No, I'm not Basil.
They
I'm
might
the
have
herb.
actually they might have went by Basil. I don't remember at this point.
They weren't.
But
They weren't
It's not
memorable.
given his fighter facts.
There's no age. Oh well.
well, you know
sorry,
what?
I'm having a tough time navigating this website.
It's a weird.
all
What are you
right.
on the UFC
No
page?
worries.
Yeah.
That looks deep.
I'm assuming
honestly.
Basil's younger.
It should just immediately say what is.
Mickey Gall's got to be 35 years old.
I don't know. These young up and comers are just crazy good. I think Mickey Gall is going to go on another losing.
You're probably not wrong.
I'd like to see
Another
the
loss,
odds on
my
it.
bad.
I'd like to see what the odds
That's why I need
makers
your
think.
phone up. I need your phone up to get me those live odds on that
I
betting site.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next
So,
fight.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, that fight is whatever.
Well, I think Basil's the younger, and you could bet on the younger fighter like 2/3 of the time.
He's
And you-
5'11".
Basil's about the same
Huff
height.
is.
Yeah, he's a little shorter. Mickey Gall is about 6'1". He's a tall, long, lightweight. I think he jabs him. Mickey Gall uses the leg kick. He uses decent grappling. Mickey Gall,
Leg kick.
I'm telling you, man. This is in
Mickey
3
Gall
days, and we're
leg
gonna
kicks.
remember this conversation because we went on this huge Mickey Gall rant. Okay.
Okay,
I
well,
think
I'll
Mickey's
show you the
decent,
odds
man.
right now, and we'll
I'm
see.
saying
and
he
we'll
went to
see.
decision with Mike Perry, who's beating the shit out of a bunch of people, and
What's this Basil's record? Do we have
he's
Basil's
8-3.
record?
8-3, and he has a draw.
8-4.
8-4. Oh, okay. They're counting the draw.
And a draw.
Interesting.
What?
8-4-1.
Oh, interesting.
And
No,
That's what it's saying right
yeah, I
here.
don't know.
no,
Yeah.
I wrote down differently. That means that what I wrote down was right.
This might be a different.
Tough to say.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tough to say. I think Mickey is actually crafty. I think, like he showed in the Mike Perry fight, like that was 5 fucking years ago. But
Yeah, I don't even remember that fight.
Philip Rowe versus Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews, welterweight. Jake Matthews has had a couple tough losses. He's 19-7.
What's his ranking?
His rank, if he's ranked low. He's probably 15 at the highest. In welterweight? Probably not even ranked.
What was his last fight?
His last fight, I believe, was a loss. And it was it was at least 3 or 4 months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe 6 months ago.
Yeah, so,
Jake
sorry
Matthews?
sorry to hop back
Go back.
a fight, but Mickey
Basil.
Gall is 3.85 and Basil is 1.28.
Yeah, so big favorite.
Minus 1.28?
Yeah, so Basil's like a pretty massive favorite.
Massive
like
favorite.
he's probably going to win. If you were to bet $100, you'd win
Bigger
28.
number is always the dog. Yeah. Like
Okay.
if you're 400, then you're the dog.
Yeah.
You're never going to be like...
I remember TJ Dillashaw, Henan Barao. TJ Dillashaw was plus 500. And
It
he
doesn't
won.
even make sense. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you only make... Because like plus 100 means you're only making 10%.
Yeah.
It's like... Or sorry. I guess everybody's odds are
You're
different.
making 500% if you bet on TJ Dillashaw in that fight, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
At 1,000.
5%.
50%.
That's exactly what I'm saying. There is a percentage increment that I do not understand in that betting equation.
Okay.
And,
Back to that other fight, though.
yeah, Basil is the favorite over Mickey. That doesn't surprise me. Mickey will win.
No, the next
Come
one.
back to this video when Mickey Gall decisions Basil Hafez.
So
We'll
yeah,
see.
Philip Rowe and Jake Matthews. I don't actually see the odds for this one on my app, so I don't know what's going on.
I do not
there.
either. It is not displayed on the UFC fight.
That's interesting. Maybe it's recently been like canceled or
Philip
something.
Rowe versus Jake Matthews ain't on that? Philip Rowe?
It is here, but the odds aren't.
Oh, no. I don't
And
need the
sorry,
odds
guys-
from you.
Sorry, guys. I realize I can click on the fight and it immediately pulls
Oh,
up
fuck, it's all there?
stats.
Oh,
I was
perfect.
clicking on the guy trying to find it.
No
But
worries.
That's okay.
So why would they even
You know,
have that option? That's just an interface problem.
I just
got
got to learn how to use it better. Would also be way better if it was displayed on the screen.
And then we
I'm
could see
realizing
it.
that more and more. You guys could see exactly what I was pulling up.
We'll
No
do that
worries.
next
No
Well, you
worries.
know
We'll
what?
get on this.
303.
We looked-
Next time.
Yeah.
UFC 303. We'll be improving every time, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
And if
anybody
you-
who's watching this video, if you're enjoying it, leave a like. Maybe tell us what you liked about it or what you disliked about it. If you're watching this, you're a beauty, and we appreciate you very much. Yeah.
All 50 of you.
Totally. Anybody who's ever watched this, God bless you. And I love you.
Amen.
Okay.
Moving on. Grant Dawson, like I said earlier tonight, man, he's fighting Joe Selecki. Joe Selecki is an American guy. He's 13-4. He's kind of like a Michael Chiesa. And these guys are lightweight. So Joe
Yeah.
Selecki's like a soft puncher, good grappler. And
Man,
we know Grant Dawson is a good grappler.
What was,
But we don't know if he's a good striker because he got knocked out by Bobby Green really quick there. And I had a bunch of money on Grant Dawson, and he cucked me. So Grant,
all right, predictions then. What do you
Well,
I think
I'll
Grant
say-
owes me one.
I'll say Grant is a big favorite. He's
What do you
1.2, and Joe Selecki's a minus or whatever, a plus 4.45.
4-5.
So
Yeah.
Joe is like
Joe
probably not
Selecki's-
going to win. Ryder, based on what you said, he's like an old kind of journeyman who has just kind of been fighting on the prelims of,
Grant's young.
of cards for a while. Grant he's 20-2-1.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good record.
Yeah, good
You
record.
know, well, who knows? It depends who he fought. Like Khabib has a good record, but he also has like 5 wins in
That's
one
so
night
true.
against a guy who was like 0-5.
He fought him 5 times.
So,
Yeah, gave him his first pro loss.
I don't know. When the odds are like that, I think you got to go with Grant Dawson. That's probably like an easy,
I won't even bet on something like that.
Grant Dawson it
Yeah.
is.
There's too much risk to win or lose on betting on Grant Dawson at this point. It's like you got knocked out by Bobby Green.
What's the next
And
fight?
Jalton Almeida versus
Ooh,
Alexander
okay.
Romanov.
Actually, I think
This
this is
is
a good
a tough
fight.
one, yeah.
What do you guys really think of this fight?
Jalton showed that he's desperate for his game plan. He doesn't-
Jalton, yeah. Good
especially
point.
his last fight, he was desperate for his game plan. He
Yeah,
wasn't.
good point.
He wasn't.
You had nothing
What's the
else.
word? He wasn't. What's the word I'm looking for? He wasn't. He wasn't
He wasn't changing his game plan.
implementing. He wasn't implementing his game plan. He was trying to survive with his game plan against Curtis Blades. And
Totally. instantly
paid
fucked
for
him.
it
Yeah,
big
it instantly
time.
screwed him over.
Yeah, and I think coming off a loss, he was on a win streak before that. Confidence was high.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was a killer before that.
Big loss.
But-
I think that was a tough matchup for him. Blades, I think
Oh,
that might have been
Blades
his
is
toughest
incredible.
matchup in
time.
heavyweight.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they're saying Almeida, he's
a
the
big
big
favorite.
favorite over Romanov. And Romanov,
Look
I've
up his
seen
last
one or two
fight.
of his fights.
Look
but,
up his last fight. Okay, he won his last fight against. It was either. It might have been another Eastern European or a Russian fighter.
like Serge Spivak or something.
I think it was
like
Spivak.
that.
I think
Alexander Romanov.
Alexander Romanov's
Fight
last
history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
history. I know he lost to Volkov in blob form when he showed up at 264 pounds.
Really?
He showed up in 264, and then his next fight, he showed up cut and just beat the shit out of the guy. Just took him down and just pounded him out. Pounded him out. So
Yeah, they're rating Almeida pretty good here, but I haven't seen
Almeida
much
looked
from him.
bad against Derek Lewis. Poor striking
Yeah.
and poor ground and pound, and he couldn't submit the bigger guy. He just couldn't.
That was his last fight, Derek Lewis?
no. Then he got TKO'd
Oh.
by Buddy there.
Sorry, yeah, Curdy Blades.
Curdy Blades
Curdy
frigged
Razor
him right
Blades.
over with some psycho in close
Elbows.
Elbows, yeah.
Elbows, man.
Oh, they were almost 12 to 6s.
Kinda. There's like an exception. You
They were
see
11 to
people do that.
7s, and that's
11
totally
to 7.
chill. 11 to
Boom.
7, you're good.
Just a
But
minuscule.
like this,
7 to 11.
if you're going like that, you're done.
yeah, you
Last
just
person to do that too.
crank the degree a little bit, and then you're good.
They got to get out like a little ruler or something and like measure the degree.
a huge
guys-
clock.
You guys seen that
That's
Joe
what Daniel
Rogan
Cormier
clip?
should be drawing out. He should be drawing out the clock. See, it's not 12 to 6. It's 7 to 3.
Totally.
That's what he needs to draw.
You know that Joe Rogan clip? He's like, you can hit hard like this, but you can hit way harder like this.
He's like,
It's pretty good.
he's like elbowing the microphone. Yeah. God, he's intense.
So I think we said, oh yeah, we already said Grant should win this. We think that Gilton's the favorite, but I honestly think Romanov is just as good of a
Aaron,
grappler.
Did you have Romanov's history?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were wondering about.
What's
We
his
just
record?
talked
What are
about-
his last few fights? What are the results? You know.
Okay, I gotta look what he
Yeah, we're
looks
we're
like
asking a lot
because it only
here,
shows a
and it's all
picture.
right.
Nope, you're good. Fight history. Here we go. So Romanov versus Ivanov looked like his last fight.
Blagoy Ivanov.
Yeah, Blagoy Ivanov.
Who has a
That
big like
weirdo.
who
And
has a
he
big
w-
freaking AK-47 bullet wound in his like
He
won that
rib
one.
cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
So he was the winner of
That's not
that one. By decision.
Yeah, he won by decision.
Okay.
Well, Blagoy is just a big meat bag that just got punched for 15 minutes.
What's his record?
No,
Aaron?
I'm talking about Ivanov.
Yeah.
What-
Yeah. No, you're talking about
Romanov's record,
Romanov.
17-2 is his record.
17-2 against
Yeah.
Jonathan Almeida. What
Yeah.
was his last fight? Sorry.
Yeah.
His last
Blagoy
Win?
Ivanov decision.
Then it was Volkov. You guys
Bad
were talking about that one.
That's right. He lost that fight.
That was March of 2023.
He got TKO'd.
Tibura versus Romanov.
He won that.
I mean,
No, looks like Tibura won
Tibura
that
won
in
that.
with the majority decision.
Oh, interesting.
You know what though? He's fighting high level
Sherman?
guys.
Yeah, Chase Sherman.
Yeah,
Did he
I
win
don't know
that?
How far you want me?
No, he won.
Yeah, he won that.
because he's won every other fight. You just gave me
Yep.
Volkov and that other loss. So he's really he's won for
Yeah.
his last 3. Is Romanov?
won
That's
his
why
first
he's
5
a dog.
fights.
He
Yeah.
won his first 5 fights in the UFC though. That's a strong stat.
I like him at that 3 to 1
Maybe
odds. Yeah.
Nope, 5.
Now, if you were to take Grant Dawson into Almeida or into Romanov, oh God, have we jumped forward here?
No,
No, we're good.
we're at Almeida and Romanov. Yep.
No, we're not. Oh, we are. There's 2 Almeidas in a row. Sorry, Bush.
I just think like Jalton's confidence is gonna be low. He's kind of it's either he gets
Gets
his
his
way or he
takedown
doesn't,
and beats him up a bit.
Is this guy? I'm assuming this
He's a
guy's
grappler.
Yeah, he's a grappler.
Romanov's a good grappler, and he's going to be heavier, bro. It's going to be hard to take down.
Romanov all day, but we'll see how it goes.
I know I lost a lot
Okay.
of faith in Jalton
So-
after the Derek Lewis fight.
So I see
no,
where
Curdy Razor.
Derek Lewis fight. He had no striking. He had no ground and pound. He had no, and when he couldn't submit him, he just kind of like held him, and I was like, oh, this guy's the worst. Like,
Yeah.
I hate this guy.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hold on to Derek's neck for it was 25 minutes.
Yeah, that was. Like,
And then Derek just stood up at the end, and he's like, "Frig." Like,
yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting fight. I think, Ryder, I see where you were confused because the next fight is Cesar Almeida,
Yeah.
who's 5-0, which I don't know what to think about that. And then Roman Kopylov.
Yeah,
who
Kopilov's
I
a
think
name.
he's had some decent fights.
Did he have a fight night this year?
Maybe.
He might have, yeah.
Last year, maybe. Kopilov, Aaron. What's his streak looking like? I think he's on a 2-fight win streak.
He lost his last one, but won the
What was,
previous two.
Yeah, okay. What was his previous loss? Sorry, the most recent loss?
Previous loss was Hernandez versus Kopylov.
Was
Is
it
that
Alexander
that fight night?
Hernandez? No, it's Anthony Hernandez. So
I think that was a
these guys
fight
are-
night, wasn't it?
That
These
might
guys
have
are-
been, yeah.
These guys are middleweight.
Yeah.
Kopilov's
Yeah.
a middleweight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa,
And
he's
these are pretty
little,
much
eh?
even odds, so it's like basically
Pick 'em, eh?
2-1. Pick 'em, yeah. I think
Pick'ems are
Almeida
terrible.
was a bit of a favorite. He was like a 1.8, and then Kopylov was like a 1.9. Or
I
something.
see, okay.
I'll flip a coin and go Kopylov.
Kopylov?
Kopilov's got some good UFC experience. Cesar Almeida's 5-0. Usually you see somebody's first loss usually comes at, the 5-0 streak.
Yeah.
5-0, 10-0. And once you get past like 10-0, then it's just a gamble. When are you going to lose? You're going to lose.
Yeah. Everybody loses.
Or you're going to retire. One guy retired.
You either
like a
retire
little
early or you lose.
inbred degenerate. It's like, maybe fight one more guy. Maybe fight one more guy and get to 30. No, I'm
I think people just wanted him to lose. Eventually.
too bad, and he knew that.
Yeah,
So
he
just
did know
quit.
that.
I just
Yeah,
want
of course.
on that note,
Whatever.
Ryder, you brought up the word inbred. So I kind of had so for this, we had I think maybe the last one, we had the cuckold belt, right?
Who won it?
And I think
David.
Pantoja won it, wasn't it?
No, David won it.
Oh, it was Figueiredo and Garbrandt for
Yeah.
the cuckold belt.
Yeah.
So we have that belt. I think another fun gimmick belt would be Makachev versus Poirier for the inbred belt.
The inbred belt.
Because we have Dagestan
purest blood
versus
belt.
Louisiana.
Oh, Jesus.
The purest blood belt.
Yeah. So
Who has the purest blood?
and they're both kind of funny guys, right? So you could maybe see it with both them.
We're just doing ancestry at this point.
Yeah, no
It's just like-
disrespect, right? But it's
Absolutely no
It's just
disrespect.
kind of funny. And
Well,
anyways.
Dustin's a little
Dustin's
inbred
not
hick.
inbred.
What do you mean?
he kind of looks like a
What?
freaking.
He's a handsome guy.
I don't know,
Dude,
man.
he's a
Khabib's
handsome
as
guy.
handsome Russian speaking as Dustin is Louisiana American speaking.
You think if you had to pick who's better looking between Dustin Poirier and Islam, you're picking Islam?
If I
With
was
the
a
weird beard?
if I was a
Yeah.
Palestinian immigrant,
No,
and
no, you're
I had
you.
to pick between the
you're
two
you
of them,
and I'm me. You have to pick.
What?
You have to pick
I'm,
yourself, your own opinion. Not if
I'm
you
picking
were a
Khabib.
That's not one of the choices.
Oh, who was the other one? Islam.
Islam, yeah.
Sorry, I'm picking baby Khabib.
look
I'm picking
similar.
Islam.
Yeah, they're basically the same.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
picking Khabib.
You're picking Islam. Better looking guy.
Anyways, sorry guys. We'll chat.
I don't
about-
believe that.
We'll chat about that when we get
Come
to
on,
it. But
pull
that-
up Dustin Poirier.
Not only is this for the lightweight belt, this is for the inbred belt.
No.
of the UFC.
No.
Coming up. Stay tuned, and we'll talk about that.
Nobody's
coming
inbred.
up later.
I love that type of talk. It's horrible. And if UFC's listening, it's like, we don't mean any trouble. And if any YouTube
what's so bad about
people
that?
are listening, we don't mean any trouble. It's just good fun banter. It's just a bit of banter.
Hey, we're fans of both the fighters. We,
Oh, God,
we love
totally.
and respect them.
I'm
Just
not a
jokes.
fan of Makachev.
Aaron, pull this
Really?
up for me.
Fair
Pull
enough.
up Randy Brown and Evliov.
Yep. Next one there.
Eliziov.
Okay.
Elizev? Elizev, yeah, Elizev.
It's
So-
Eliezer Zaleski dos Santos.
Yeah, Elizev Zieski dos Santos.
or something.
His Mr. Zesty dos Santos here is 24-7. Okay, he's 24-7. So he's got 24 professional wins.
Big experience.
Not bad. Randy Brown's up there too. He's 18-5. Those are similar records. Randy Brown's
Brown.
long.
Randy
He's
Brown.
from Jamaica, and he's lengthy.
Yeah.
He's the favorite.
He's we're in the welterweight division here, so
Yeah.
these are hard hitting guys. They're gonna have some power.
Anybody lost by KO?
That's a great question. Randy Brown and Elizov here. I think Randy Brown has a KO loss.
I'll pull it up. Randy Brown. I'll pull
Yeah,
it up.
does he have a KO loss? They're both.
His last loss was a submission from Della.
Jack Della Maddalena was his last
He
fight.
won the previous three before that.
Mm.
Submission by Oliveira, not
Charles Oliveira.
No, I don't know if it's Charles.
Oh no, it would have been Cowboy Oliveira.
Cowboy Oliver.
That's tough. It's like his knockoff.
Yeah.
It's like we have Charles at home, and it's like Cowboy Oliveira.
TKO
By who?
By Luke in August 1st,
Vicente Luque.
2020.
Vicente Luque would have.
Oh yeah, Vicente Luque knocked
Randy
out Randy
Brown.
Brown with like a big knee. Remember?
Really?
Yeah,
Back in
I think it was
2020.
like a big
2020.
Yeah.
So it's been 4 years since the TKO lost. Sorry,
Sorry,
guys.
guys.
There might have been a cut there.
Yes. Okay. So basically, this is what it is. Ryder was filming on his phone. He has freaking a little bit of storage. He probably has, God knows what he has on there. Probably, like Fallout Shelter. Probably a site that starts with a B and has a couple Zs in between somewhere.
Right.
Funny stuff like that, right? So, anyways, I'm only kidding. We had a bit of a cut, and here we are.
Yeah.
So where did we leave off?
If you've made it this far, thanks for listening. We hope you've enjoyed. Obviously, we're gonna play all this through, and we ended with Sean Strickland decisioning Paulo Costa. Is where we ended with the audio with Aaron.
Where we end? No, we're talking about where we ended on the video, which was
Yeah.
with who?
Yeah, we need it on the video because then that video won't be in it.
Yeah.
I see. Which was the Randy Brown.
Yeah.
fight,
So we
right?
talked about Randy Brown
Yeah.
getting knocked out by Vicente Luque with knees.
Yep.
Edizu Zaleski dos Santos, pretty good up and coming fighter, welterweight. I think we all kind of decided. I don't actually know if we made a pick for this fight.
Well, I said Randy Brown's the lengthier guy.
Yeah.
He's probably going to put a little clinic of striking on this guy. This guy will probably try to shoot at some point. He's going to implement the grappling, and Randy Brown's not about that. Randy Brown's going to strike.
I see.
I'm picking Randy Brown probably by TKO. Just saying that.
I'll go Randy Brown as well. Jordan.
I don't know. I think
Jamaica.
I like Edizu. He looks like he,
He's a killer.
yeah, he
he's-
looks like
he's certainly
he
a
lived in
tough-looking
the
guy.
favela until he was 24, then started training.
He looks tough.
MMA.
Yeah, he looks like a killer for
Okay.
sure.
So yeah, I think we talked about that one a bit. So now we were on to
Nico Price.
Nico Price and
Sure.
Morano, as I was calling him.
Right.
I'm
well,
rooting
look
for
at-
Nico in this one. I want Nico to go on a win. He gave Robbie Lawler a win on his last fight, retirement fight, and now
It's perfect.
he's fighting. Who do we got here?
We got Alex Morono,
Alex Morono.
and Nico
Sorry, I
Price.
couldn't read it. It's
Right.
bad.
That's it's a pretty bad fight, to be honest.
To be the fucking
level.
fourth fight of the night.
It's exciting.
Nico's awesome.
Nico, like we were saying, he's got about 8 kids and lives
So he
in a
beat up.
trailer.
Is that Philip Rowe he beat up? So Philip Rowe is below him on this card. That's interesting.
He's been more of a
he's
name.
Right, he's right down here.
Nico's
Philip
more
Rowe.
of a name.
Oh, of course. And then, like you said, he gave Robbie that nice win. Robbie beat him up.
Yeah, it is a loss. So
So
it's
Nico
not
is
good
1-1 for
but
his last 3. He's not doing so hot, but he's got some good stats there.
We'll see what happens with this one. I mean, it's
Morono's a
bit of
vet,
toss-up.
and I said it earlier. Morono wipes the floor with Nico Price probably 8 times out of 10. I'm
right.
betting on Morono. He's very well rounded, and he looks unassuming. He looks unassuming.
He freaking looks like me, man.
I told you, this is the
Extremely.
guy who's doing your recycling, and you feel bad for him. This is what I said.
If any guy looks like
The
he's
Great
from a
White.
trailer park-
the great,
The Great White
His name's the
is his
Great
nickname,
White.
like the Shack.
Great White.
The Shack.
That's funny because he
Are you
looks like
kidding
he
me?
could be
He
a
is really
member
white.
of a triple lettered organization.
The Great White, Alex Morono, is here to slay everybody.
The Great White.
I like him. I've always liked Morono because he's such a
obviously talking
normal
about
guy.
The Shark.
Yeah, and I like Great White sharks.
I think he's grown some hair
You
because
guys work for.
Because I said that earlier.
I was
No,
going to be
yeah.
Alex the Reef Shark Morono, but I decided to be the Great White.
the reef shark.
is no, that's already taken.
So I thought Morono looked a bit like a cancer patient. I think he's grown out a bit of a stubble
He looks okay.
He
hairdo
looks like
now.
he survived cancer.
So
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
he made it.
Yeah, he looks great.
yep,
Looks healthy.
That's funny.
I like him in that
No,
shot.
that's
I
not
think he
funny.
wins.
Sorry, that's not funny. That's fantastic. It's really not something to joke around a bit.
No doubt.
Ryder. So come on, man.
No doubt. Kevin
Okay.
Holland is gonna beat up Michelle Olenjacek.
Kevin Holland. Yeah, we were talking about Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland.
Jesus, man.
I was saying this about Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland doesn't do very well against specialists. So every time he's either faced a wrestler that's a specialist specialist in striking, he's always lost, but this guy's a well-rounded guy too, and he is a favorite. So I think I'm going with Kevin on this one.
I don't mind that at all.
Long, lanky.
Yeah, I like.
He's
that
going
for
back up to 185 though.
This almost looks a bit like
It's not 170,
a,
Kevin.
This almost looks a bit like a prison matchup,
Yeah, a little bit.
just based on
Weird
like,
tattoos.
yeah, like both these guys, they seem like they would be.
state.
Yeah,
They're going to be divided on the yard. 81-inch reach, 74-inch reach. They got the same leg reach, though. So, I mean, Olin Jacek's going to be looking to kick Kevin's leg, looking to be slowing him down. He's going to be looking to grapple him. Kevin's going to be looking to jab him and land some crazy exchanges, try to TKO him, probably get tired, probably end up wrestling off his back, and maybe he'll win 2 or 3 rounds. Probably goes to decision. Kevin has no power at 185. He's not a 185er. He's He's skinny at 170.
I like Mikal here.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
Over Holland.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
I mean,
think
he looks really funny, Meek Chow.
he doesn't look that funny. They just have a horrible picture for him on the UFC for whatever reason. They really did him dirty on this UFC photo.
He looks like every Russian henchman.
He looks like a guy that you could just beat up.
I'm gonna go with Kevin.
He looks like a guy you'd beat up. Yeah, Kevin. But look, what was his record? He's decent, man.
Kevin what is that on it?
25 and 11.
He's got like a
bunch of Nike symbols and weird tattoos and stuff.
Hey,
like,
come on, guys.
that's coming from me. I got shitty tattoos, and those are all pretty shit, Kevin.
Come on.
I got Michelle. I got Michelle beating
I do
up Kevin.
too.
Yeah.
Kevin, Holland, you're my man. Let's go.
There you go. Slugs on your back. Now we got Sean Strickland, Paulo Costa, guys.
Jake does always make a good bet.
You got great fighting sense, Jake.
We'll see what happens.
You do.
Ryder and I are swayed heavily by the odds, whereas Jake, you go more just based on like the facts.
You do.
And you do have a feel for that stuff because of your training. So
Natural.
like, you do have a good bet usually. Ryder and I should listen to you more, but we're freaking,
What do you guys think about this one?
I trust the books on this one. I trust that
Strickland?
Sean should survive.
I don't. I think that Costa's going to win. Costa's a prospect. He's up in. What are the ages on
By
these
what?
blokes here?
What's Costa gonna
Similar.
win by? Decision?
It doesn't show their age.
Ages.
TKO?
Yeah.
You want
It
Costa by
should.
TKO?
I think. I don't know.
It's a 5-round fight.
He's not TKO. I mean,
Is it?
Yeah, it's a 5-round fight.
Ooh.
that's big.
So
I think that favors
Jake,
Strickland.
You said just bet on decision. Jake said.
I think it's going to be a decision fight.
and that's interesting.
Yeah, whatever, whoever
Ryder,
happens,
you could pull
probably
that up to
Sean's
see
going to be
what that is
decision.
for decision.
I think Stricky. I think Stricky actually does take it by decision. That's a decent bet, and I'll pull up the odds on that in a second.
because neither of them have many finishes.
He's got better cardio, I think, Sean, than Paulo, and he's got better defense than Paulo.
Big time.
I think Paulo's
But he
weird.
just has no power.
Yeah.
He has no power like Paulo.
Paulo's kind of overrated, but he's also kind of underrated too.
He just
So Costa by
he
TKO.
almost beat Robert.
That's what I'm saying, man. And that was his last fight. It looked good.
Fuck.
He looked strong.
Yeah, this is a toss-up too. But whatever
So
happens,
50-50.
I still think it's gonna go to decision.
Okay.
So
Still gonna
if
go to
if
decision.
you want to just bet on just decision, Jake, that's decent. They're saying 2.2 for decision on this fight.
That's it. Are
Well,
you sure it's 5 rounds?
yes, because
Yeah,
it
it
says
is,
round
yeah.
5. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
because
I don't like those odds.
well, it's bad odds because it's probably gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So
Because there's a good chance that will happen.
That's-
So
Why doesn't it just say their ages?
I don't
on
know. I don't know. That's
Dude,
weird.
you think the
The
UFC
UFC's trying to hide that.
the UFC website would like be like just really good,
But it's shit.
nobody can make a good website because they outsource it to freaking somewhere,
Is that
a
right?
multitude of places, and it's just like I don't know, man.
all right. So you got Paulo, you got Strick,
Yeah, I got Strick.
I got Strick too.
Yeah.
I think Strickland's taking it.
Either way, it's going to be a decent fight, decent co-main.
Aaron, can you go down and
Could
I
have
love
almost-
that co-main.
Could have been a main event.
What's that?
I just wanted to see Strickland's
Totally.
last few fights, but
Oh, yeah,
I
history?
think you had it. Like
Jared Cannonier, he beat?
so,
Or
so he
to?
lost versus Duplessis. He beat Adesanya. He beat Magomedov, who I don't know who that is.
He was a prospect.
He beat Imavov. I don't really know
Prospect.
who that is.
Yeah. And
He,
he
lost
to
versus
Cannonier
Cannonier.
and lost.
He lost versus Pereira. Strickland's pretty trash, man. He had a good run. He's almost like the, Jan Blachowicz of middleweight, where he gets the championship for one fight, and now he's going to like
Go on a bit of a
game
skid.
to a bit of an up and coming guy. I mean, Costa's not
Costa's not up
He
and
beat up.
coming.
He
no.
beat
Not
up Brendan
necessarily.
Allen. He beat up Brendan Allen.
He beat up Brendan Allen, man. Brendan Allen
was a while
looks
ago.
like freaking a math teacher.
And then you're right though, Jordan. He has one A-class win, and it's Adesanya.
Yep.
And-
And that was like I think that was a stylistically a bad matchup for Adesanya.
Somehow the best night for Strickland, and it made him look really good.
Yep.
And then he lost again. He lost to Cannonier.
Tricky.
I didn't really. No, he lost to Cannonier.
Yeah. he did
Have
this
either of
thing.
you guys watched Strickland versus Adesanya again?
Back again.
Yeah, I watched it again.
And
No.
I haven't. And I like based on my initial thing, like Strickland had that one big moment where he almost knocked Adesanya out.
Pretty
but
chill
other
fight.
than that, it was like
Pretty chill fight.
just defensive.
Yeah.
He kind of had that moment and then he cruised the rest of the way. So like,
It was that drop, and the rest of it was octagon control and
Yep.
pressure.
Just jabs and
Yep.
kicks.
Yeah, no one was really
Keeps.
getting hit that bad.
yep.
But,
Again,
uh,
I got Stricky. I think he's gonna do it.
I think Strickland will
But
win.
I like Jordan's.
I've got
logic.
Costa here.
Yeah, I like Jordan's logic with Costa. He's a killer, man. Costa is just look at him. He's engineered.
big, man.
He's engineered.
He's engineered.
The guy is psycho. And I like his online.
What's Costa by
presence.
decision? You know, I don't know what that could be. He's went to decision with a few people.
It's probably 8-1. because
You know,
it's
he
not
went
gonna
5
happen.
rounds with Vittoria. He didn't look all that bad. Like in the fifth round.
I think he went 3 rounds with Romero. But yeah, Costa by decision is actually 10-1. So that's something to look for. That's a weird, sneaky. Like, is Costa gonna gas? Hopefully not. He's an animal. Nah, I've been seeing him training, man. He's a killer.
So yeah, let's look at his record here. So he had,
Lost to Robbie.
but that was a
barely.
good fight.
11-1. No, sorry.
Yeah, go back to
14
the
and 3.
Go to the bottom for the fight to fight
History.
Yeah, we like that. Now
Lost for close fight.
Rockhold lost to Vittori
Yep.
in a 5-round fight where he
Go-
gassed a bit.
Keep going down.
That was a good fight though. Vittoria.
Lost.
He hit Vittoria with like a bunch of big head kicks and stuff.
Why is that overturned?
Because it's a tie.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
No.
method decision. No, it's because Romero's on fucking steroids. That's why.
No, he wasn't busted for that.
I think that was the bust. That was why he made his $30 million.
You know what?
No, it wasn't that fight. It was
No?
a different fight.
His
Tim
re-
Kennedy fight.
His record's not all that good either.
No, he's a bit washed as well.
Hall.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Stricky.
Stricky.
Remember, this is 2018. Johnny Hendricks. He's TKOing Johnny Hendricks fucking 6 years ago. Stricky. He's current. He's relative.
Costa by decision. Mark it down. It's gonna hit.
10-1. Put $10 on it. Who knows? That could be a sick bet.
I'm putting $100 on it.
I
All
don't
right,
mind
boys. It's main event time.
Hendricks.
Okay, so like I was saying earlier, another special championship belt, the inbred championship, Makachev versus Dustin Poirier. I mean, look at them.
Ugh.
It's kind of like, you know,
Islam Makhachev is
Dude,
more handsome
Dust-
than Dustin Poirier.
No, he is not. Don't say that.
What's
Look
that?
at them.
I'm looking at him, man.
Are you kidding me?
I'm looking at him.
they almost
One's an old white guy.
They almost
one's
kinda
a
look
young,
would
the
just
same.
like
handsome
drag
Eastern
you back
man.
to his hut in the mountains. That's where you take you on.
No,
a
he's
nice,
respectful, man. He's
you
respectful.
take you on a nice seafood Louisiana.
he take you on like a crawfish experience.
Yeah,
Both men
Craw
are respectful.
boil.
No,
Yeah.
Islam is ultimate
Craw
respect,
boil.
man.
He'd
Don't
Dustin
disrespect-
Poirier would take
Southern
you on a craw
hospitality.
boil, and then he'd freaking
Southern hospitality.
he'd let you freaking DP his freaking
No, he wouldn't.
sister or something, or his fucking cousin.
No.
That's too far. I'm saying one guy's handsomer than
Oh
the other.
come
That's
on,
all I'm
it's
saying.
funny.
I'm saying that Islam is more handsome. That's
Yeah,
it.
you're blind. Look at that guy.
Eastern beauty, buddy.
He looks like this half the time. Dana, give me my money.
That's a half decent impression.
He
I won't
looks
lie.
inbred, and that's why this is for
Dana,
the inbred championship.
Mayweather, big money, fam.
Okay, and one thing I do want to point out on this fight is the
on.
insane odds on it.
Yeah.
So
What's the odds?
Makachev is a
mean?
massive favorite, minus 670. I think I just saw.
What?
650
That's it right there.
Plus 470 for Poirier. So we won a bit of money on Poirier versus Saint Denis when
Yeah,
it
we
was
did.
almost.
Did
The odds
no-
weren't this severe.
I guess
Dustin was a 3-1 dog versus Denis.
pays the cost to be the boss.
Pays a cup. to be-
Dustin has good grappling
Dustin has already trained for
yep.
him.
As long as
This is the
Dustin
second time he's trained for him.
as long as Dustin doesn't throw up like 18 guillotines like he likes
As
to
long
do.
as he don't throw up 18 guillotines.
Okay, his anti-wrestling is good. His striking is probably
His
better.
anti-wrestling, his getting up is good.
His getting up
He
is
gets
great.
taken down by everybody, Dustin.
Dustin,
Everyone.
yeah,
Everybody who wrestles takes him down.
dude, I just wouldn't count this guy out ever.
He
I'm
doesn't
never
fight a
again.
lot of wrestlers, to be fair. He fought like Charles, he lost to. He lost to Khabib. He lost to.
He beat Chandler.
Almost lost to Benoit in the wrestling department.
I don't see how you couldn't cheer for Dustin. It's a great American story. He's finally made it. His last
100%.
redemption.
100%.
He's
100%.
gonna- if
This
he gets
is
the belt, this will probably be the greatest UFC story in history.
maybe.
I'm gonna
I
have
hear
some
you.
money on Poirier for sure.
I hear you.
At those odds. I think
Twice failed.
Islam.
Makhachev is pretty. He's a pretty generational talent. Like he just knocked down. He outstruck Oliveira. He hasn't been outstruck. He outstruck Volkanovski.
Oliveira was hurt in that fight. Volkanovski is about 2 feet tall, so yeah, of course you can head kick him. And he's fought no one else besides that.
Well, he
so-
didn't head kick him in 35 minutes of
Yeah,
fighting.
yeah, and the first
so
time
it's not
he
like
got
it's
beat
easy.
up by the Garden Gnome.
But it's not like, man.
Yeah.
The height thing is tricky. Everybody loves to like shit on a short guy.
No, but I'm saying he like
Well, don't undermine Volk because he's short. Undermine him because of something else, maybe. Like the height is actually rarely a factor in UFC. You look at like Randy Brown versus Buddy there. They're not factoring in the fact that Randy
I'm
Brown's
just
3.5
saying he's the
inches
weight
taller.
class below,
Yeah,
and
no,
he-
smaller guy.
and he dropped Islam.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier is bigger, stronger.
Than bulky.
Yeah.
100%.
I'll say this: I'm putting $10 on Dustin Poirier by TKO. And what are the odds on that, Ryder?
Totally. Well,
Putting-
they're over 5-1 , I would think,
I
because
love
he's
Volkanovski,
5-1,
by the
right?
way.
7-1, 7.5-1 on the Dustin TKO. Now that's juicy.
$10 on it.
Go Paulo and Sean to go the distance into a Dustin TKO. What the hell does that bring? Something juicy, I'll tell you that. Well, it's
Something
actually
juicy.
It's
I'll
17
tell you
times
that.
10. It's 75-1.
Tell me that,
It's all
man.
about the 2 fight parlays.
Please tell me that. You told me that, so tell me
I'm
that.
telling you that. I'm telling you that.
I'll tell you that. You already told me that.
Oh no, it's not 75-1. It's 16.5-1.
Sorry.
For the fight to go the distance, and then Dustin will get the TKO, which would just be legendary.
I think.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Dustin's trained for this guy one other time.
No,
This is his second time.
I would like to see Dustin win, and
Oh,
that's why
yeah.
I think I will bet on Islam
I'm gonna bet on Islam
because you'll win money when he wins, and you'll feel better about Dustin losing.
I'm actually betting $100, and I'll tell you why.
So you'd win $28 on a $100 bet for freaking Makhachev.
That's fine. I'll pay for my dinner when I order a nice big 3-meat, 2 sides
Yeah.
Jones barbecue.
You bet. That's a great way to be.
That's good.
And if
Yeah,
I have to
I like
pay
that.
$100 for Dustin to win, gladly I'd pay $200.
Right.
So then put down 200.
Okay.
And then you'll win.
I just upped
60.
the stakes for myself.
And then
I
you'll win
didn't mean to do
60,
that.
and then you'll win 2 free dinners.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm going to.
You should. That's a good mentality,
Dude,
man.
if he wins, I would be so happy, man.
Yeah, that's a good fight fan mentality where
And
you're
if-
like, I either win money on the favorite who I don't love,
Yeah.
or the guy I love comes
This-
back. And
sometimes-
it's a sick win.
Sometimes the guy I want to win is a well, like this, he's an underdog, so I'm not going to win that much money on the guy that I want to lose. But I'm betting on him.
Yeah, right.
I think I like Dustin, but I think we've seen this fight a few times before. We've seen it with Oliveira versus
Mopped.
Poirier and Gaethje. We've seen it with Khabib versus Poirier and Gaethje. Both those are all wins, right? Oliveira beat both Gaethje and Poirier,
yeah,
and freaking
Lost to Islam.
Khabib beat freaking both
Poirier and
Gaethje
Gaethje.
and Poirier.
yeah. And then
It's just like maybe this is the next time. Maybe this time it's going to be different. But if you look back at recent stylistic matchups, it hasn't worked out for the Poiriers and the Gaethjes.
Yeah. Well,
Unfortunately.
Poirier is going to be leaving it all out there. So
Yeah.
he's going to give it his absolute best try. And
yeah, I don't mind that. As far as the whole event goes, these top 3 fights are pretty heavy, like you guys were saying, right?
yeah.
The rest of this card, I wish them all the best, and
We'll
I
be
hope that
watching
they're
it
exciting
all.
fights.
We'll
I
be
hope they're
watching them
exciting. As far as
Well, Ryder, you were talking earlier about how like the second fight on the early prelims, how like that fight's a little bit different. You don't really care about that stuff, right?
I remember you saying that, yeah.
No, I think you were saying that. Man.
I remember somebody saying that. You know what? It's every once in a while where women's MMA just is like, oh my god, this is amazing. every once in a while. But the majority of it, I'm okay with.
There's some really good
I'm
moments.
okay with it.
I remember one of the best UFC moments I've ever had was at the Fox Bar in Victoria, BC, where we live here. We saw
The strip club.
Holly Holm knock out Ronda Rousey
Yeah.
with a head kick KO.
Ed
And
Geek,
And it was pretty sweet. They had it up on the big screen, and then freaking like, you know.
Ronda's knocked
Yeah.
out. She's out on the fucking floor.
Yeah, and then-
Canadian icon, and then some girls come out and start shaking ass.
They rolled up the screens. And
Fucking
it was
2
on
seconds later, like a fucking bell rang and the screen went up, and there was a girl behind it with no clothes on, ready to just change the
hilarious.
scenery. It was actually peak civilization. Everything past that, I could pass on.
Hey, I liked when Rose head kicked Whaley
I think
Zhang.
so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Finished
Rose
her
and
in,
Whaley.
That was good.
That was sick.
Cyborg and Nunez, that was a good moment as well.
There's some good fights out there, but
Yep.
I mean, unless they have the
Build the next
possi-
women's star. That's what I say. Build the next women's
Well,
star.
Macy, the future barber.
Yeah, she's going to be a barber in the near future.
Coming to cut your hair, you know,
On that note,
sometime soon.
we thank you for listening. Thanks for joining us. It was fun talking. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy 302, everybody. We'll be watching.
UFC 302. Let's go, Dustin!
Subscribe to the boys on MMA.
Subscribe, like, and we love you. Again,
Smash
if
that
you
like
watch
button.
this, you're insane.
Ground and pound that
we
like button.
love you. Thank you so much.
Ground and pound that like
Cheers.
button.